Who's gonna start this off?
You already started talking.
Okay. Welcome to Geekly NG's NerdCast. I'm Jay.
I'm Saul.
I'm Tony.
And I'm Shaz.
So for today's topic, we're gonna shit talk Nintendo as we like to do.
It's like
That's what we do for fun.
Yes.
pretty fun topic for us, even on a daily basis.
It's on my Tinder profile.
Okay. So first, we're gonna talk about Nintendo's what do they call it? Nintendo Switch Online. They're
Bad.
Sorry, I'm reading the notes. Tony or Saul, one of you guys talk. 'Cause I'm reading the notes.
Okay, well, according to the notes, it says that they're gonna have basically free internet for now, I believe, until next year.
Free internet.
Free internet, yes, for everybody. Everybody gets free internet.
It's amazing.
Thanks to Nintendo. No, I meant free.
Fuck the rules.
Free online gaming service until next year when they unveil their Nintendo subscription plan, which, as far as I know, is gonna be like a $20 a year thing.
Yeah, which is I think is a really good fucking deal. $20 a year to play online.
So for like $20 a year, you can play with your friends the one Legend of Zelda game they have.
I call Minotaur.
What do you think about this, Shaz?
I mean, it makes sense because, I mean, first of all, they don't have anything out right now. They only have Zelda. And Splatoon's coming after, so I guess it's good to, like, kind of test it out for people. And even when people start paying $20 a year is, I think, fantastic. That's a great price point. Because for PSN for a year, it's what, 60?
Yeah.
And for Xbox Live, does anybody know how much is that for a year?
I think it's also 60.
Right, so $20 a year is fantastic. I think that's really good. That's and I don't know. Are they giving away like free NES games every month if you do that? Or?
Oh, I know that one.
The when you purchase the online subscription, what it'll do is it'll open up deals for you within the Wii eShop, kind of like how PSN works, and they'll also include their Nintendo Retro Library, which is a thing that they spoke about when they unveiled the Switch.
No, but I think the big thing they said was they were gonna give you one game a month, but you can only play it for that month.
Oh,
so
okay.
like for that month, they're gonna be like, yeah, everybody can play the original Kid Icarus, and then when the month is over, it's like, no more. That's what everybody wants. You all want to play the original Kid Icarus.
And then that's exactly what Nintendo does. They give you one NES game that anybody can fucking emulate anywhere, and then after you drop your subscription, they just take it away, which makes absolutely no sense. If they like open the entire library up for the duration of your subscription, that would make more sense because they're NES games. They're 40 years old. So having the entire library open to you is like such a much more incentive for people to get on the subscription.
Yeah, when I first heard about this, in my mind, I assumed it'd be like a Netflix library type thing where you just kind of pick anything you want and you can play whenever. And I was like, that's amazing. I could play all the Zelda games without feeling like I'm stealing from them through emulators.
I'll steal from
them.
Yeah. But doesn't PlayStation have something similar, or is it Xbox that has like you pay and you can access all the old school games? I don't know who does that. I think
that's definitely PlayStation because they also had the whole thing for if you get the subscription, you get all the PS2 games. Like
there you go, like PlayStation Now or something, right?
It's called PlayStation Now, but basically how it works is there's multiple ways. So basically, you can pay for the whole subscription, which is I think $20 a month, which is absolutely ridiculous. $20 a month, and you get an entire library of both PS3 and PS2 games. However, obviously not all PS2 games are there, not all PS3 games are there. It's mainly PS3, but the thing is, you have to stream it, and streaming something like Netflix is different because it's just video. Streaming a video game, you need like really good internet, and even if you're like on Wi-Fi and have good internet, it's not gonna work. I did it. I had PS Now for about 3 months, and it was great. I got to play like Shadow of the Colossus. I got to play the Infamous games. Playing more smaller games like, I don't know what else was on there, but Journey and stuff like that was fine because they're not that graphically intense. But but whenever I played like Infamous or even Shadow of the Colossus, it would like lag like crazy, and I have pretty good internet, so yeah, that is not worth it. I think Xbox is trying something new where it's a similar idea. That this time you pay for your subscription, but you can actually download the game, and so the whole game downloads to your system, and then you can play it. And whenever your subscription ends, it just gets deleted off. So I think that's a better method than just this whole streaming thing.
Yeah, okay, so that's essentially what Nintendo's doing, right? I mean, I don't know if they're gonna do the download method or the streaming method, but I feel like download seems like the way to go, especially for a game.
But Nintendo's games are like what, like 2 pixels? I just want to play all the OG RPGs because I'm a self-discovered weeboo. Is that what we call it now? What are those people they call like Japanese thing? Weebs. I'm a newfound weeb, so I'm like, I love JRPGs now, and I want to go back and play all the old ones. So that'd be a good incentive, but they're probably gonna make it very difficult. They're kind of like, you can only play Super Mario 3. Like,
I mean, that's probably what it's gonna be. It's gonna be just the retro classics.
The classics. And I'm like, I want to play Shining Force.
The fuck is Shining Force?
Exactly.
Just go way back to Super Nintendo. I had the Friday the 13th games. That would be cool.
Tony, you gotta stop moving.
Wait, there's a Friday the 13th game?
There was a Friday. You didn't know that?
I mean,
it was bad.
For my childhood, all I played was Conker's Bad Fur Day, and I think that blocked me out of every other release.
You're just Jason X on this like one neighborhood going.
His name's not Jason X.
That's the movie. Fuck, Jason Voorhees.
That's the shitty movie.
What about Leprechaun in Space when the Leprechaun grew like 7 sizes?
Nintendo, Tony.
Great.
Nintendo.
Sorry.
No, but yeah, the old Super Nintendo. But yeah, these old Super Nintendo games, they did have Friday the 13th, where just Jason just goes through like neighborhood to neighborhood killing people.
Oh.
That's literally you're just stabbing people.
That's a great Nintendo classic. They need to bring that back. Whatever happened to Nintendo? An add-on that Nintendo's actually bringing on to this whole Nintendo Switch Online, that I think is like their added perk for calling gamers in, is they're going to release an accompanying app for it. Accompanying app. Thank you, Tony. It's going to be a mobile version of it where I guess you can invite players. Sorry. You can invite friends, you can set up game sessions, chat with friends during games, and even use your phone as a second screen for the Switch.
Is it like the PSN app?
It's essentially the PSN app, but I'm assuming theirs is going to look nicer.
Oh, okay.
Although mine does, I have the ability to use a second screen, but I tried it once, and not once has it ever worked for me. I hit second screen and the app crashes on me.
What about the thing that they do with the PS Vita?
I've never owned a PS Vita. I've owned one handheld.
I'm a very happy Vita owner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you're talking about like the whole remote play thing?
Yeah, how does that work? Does that work well?
So,
well, I think that says it all.
You heard it here first.
No, listen, I wanted it to work really badly, and it does work. Like I could play, my PS4 would be at home, and basically I just connect to the internet whenever I'm at like school or classes or like miles and miles away, and it could connect, and I could play my PS4 game on my Vita, which is amazing. But again, the whole thing of internet, you need really good internet, you need to make sure your PS4 is hardwired. But the lag connection going, the lag isn't really the main issue. The main issue is the Vita doesn't have L2 or R2 or L3 or R3.
Oh, that's a big problem.
Yeah, so like try playing any kind of shoot. I mean, some games do it okay. So like when I tried to play Destiny, which horrible idea, but when I tried to play, there was they switched the shoot button to like the R1 or whatever, the shoulder buttons, and then the sprint button was like down on the D-pad.
The fuck?
Which was weird. Yeah, which is weird, but it actually worked like surprisingly well. I could actually play a couple matches and not get completely destroyed. So it was fine, but other games that are not compatible are just, it's still very much an issue. But I think with the Switch now, there's no reason to do anything like that.
Yeah. With the app, apparently it's supposed to be released summer of this year. Which, I mean, I don't know seasons. Is it summer yet?
It's about to be.
Oh, okay.
No, it starts, isn't it July 21st or June 21st?
I don't know. I'm sweating my ass off every day.
Somewhere, no, because then that's going to be,
it's June 21st, yes.
June 21st,
okay, so a free version.
Summer's coming.
So a free version of this app's going to be available within summer. And I'm assuming that it's going to go to paid once the Nintendo Switch Online comes online.
Why?
Because, I mean, what's the point of the app if you don't have Nintendo Switch Online?
Well, I'm already paying for Nintendo Switch Online. Why would you pay for the app?
No, you're not paying for the app. The app comes free.
Oh, I was confused. I was like, you ain't gonna charge me twice.
What I'm trying to say is that using the app for what it's supposed to be will only be available if you have paid for the Switch for the subscription.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
I was like, you ain't charging me twice, Nintendo. No.
You just don't want to give Nintendo money, do you?
I don't. I'll fight you.
Wasn't there something with like the app and like the voice chat or something? I heard some of that.
Nintendo is infamous for being one of the companies that never had voice chat in its online play. Like they never really pushed it.
Yeah, and so like I think it was something like you needed to have the app and use your phone to get into the voice chat and not on the Switch itself. Some stupid bullshit like that.
Because they're trying to avoid profanity and stuff.
I guess what they really wanted was, okay, you want to do voice chat? Just fucking call.
Just call your friends.
Just call your friends if you want to voice chat.
Put them on the speaker.
Just download a whole phone plan.
Because I know Nintendo talked about they wanted like to avoid profanity and stuff. So when like Splatoon came out for the Wii U, they didn't allow voice chat because they didn't want anybody.
They didn't want to hear a little kid talk about how they fucked other mothers.
Yeah, like they were like, no, we don't want you fucking people's mothers.
All these internet tough people.
Yeah. So maybe they're gonna actually have it now, or I don't know.
Maybe they're realizing that
kids are gonna do it anyway.
Now they're ready for other kids fucking each other's mothers.
I mean, all of this seems like signs that Nintendo's trying to at least with the new CEO, the one who
passed away.
No, not the one that passed away.
Took over?
I forgot who the current one is after Iwata died. But I'm assuming what he's doing is aggressively joining the market that Xbox and Sony were in. For I mean, the ones that they've pretty much created and have been a part of. I'm assuming that this new guy is trying to aggressively join it and say like, hey, we have games too. Come over here.
Look, we have Skyrim. Not yet, but it's coming.
All these plans seem like just copycats of what Sony and Microsoft have had in place for a pretty long time. They're just like, oh shit, we should probably get into this now. After what, 10 years?
Yeah.
The Skyrim game that they have is not even the remastered one, is it? It's like the old one.
Wait, which Nintendo Switch?
Like on the Switch, yeah. It's not even the remastered version. It's the original version.
Oh. Well, maybe the Switch can't even handle a remastered.
Oh, Xbox does what Nintendo.
Maybe what happened was that the trailer showed Skyrim and everyone assumed it was remastered. But I was like, oh no, this is just the port of what you guys already played. This is the old one. Everyone was like, oh, remastered?
They're like, no, we didn't say nothing. You guys just had your expectations too high.
They didn't say nothing, but they also didn't stop us from saying that stuff.
Fuckers.
The next topic that I wanted to bring up was basically your video, Shaz, the one you did about Nintendo and third-party support. Yeah. I'm assuming you're gonna be the one who knows who can talk about this more because
you're Shaz.
You're Shaz, and you made a video on it.
I made a video, so I should know what the hell I'm saying.
Yeah, you're a pro, Shaz, aren't you? You made a video. It means you're a pro.
About the third-party support, so that's mainly been like the biggest issue with every Nintendo console. I mean, since even the Wii. I mean, the Wii had some support, but yeah, Nintendo was going a whole different direction with that. The Wii U, everyone knows, failed because of third-party support. And again, we were seeing the same cycle with the Switch. Like, oh yeah, we got a lot of third-party support. We got this people, and we got Capcom, and we got whoever the hell. But it never really happened because the system didn't sell well. Now it's different because the Switch is selling well, and it's continuing to sell well. So now developers have more of an incentive to get on it. However, there's issues there, obviously, because the hardware is limited. Even though it has like an NVIDIA, I think an X1 chip, which is great for a handheld, but it's nowhere near going to be like able to play games like Shadow of War, or Red Dead 2, or whatever. Even something like GTA 5, it won't be able to run. So these big party games, big developer games, are obviously out of the question. Now, you would think that, okay, if they don't have these big games, then they're going to go with independent games, like indie games. But I mentioned in my video, there was this guy he's been following the Switch since its release. His name is The Wolf10. Awesome guy, really good videos. And he went to PAX, and he was mentioning how all the indie developers there, that made all these really awesome, great games, they were having the hardest times to get onto the system, onto the Switch, because Nintendo is just not communicating with them properly. They're not making it easy. They're making them jump through a lot of hoops. It's just Nintendo being Nintendo. Now it's like, okay, so indie developers are having a hard time, and every indie developer wants to go on the Switch because it's such a convenient console. I would love to have it just for the indie games, I would love to play Shovel Knight and all those games on the go. It's a perfect console for it. And the Vita is still surviving because of that. It's still surviving because of the indie support. It's still surviving because of the JRPG support and like those obscure kind of weird games. And that would be great for the Switch, but again, they're not making it easy for them. Nintendo just needs to stop with this bullshit and just like say, okay, it's enough. We can't constrain our system to just, we can't be Nintendo. We gotta loosen the floodgates a little bit and let these developers make their games and they make them come forward.
But look, they got Square Enix and they got Atlas.
I'm assuming the reason Nintendo's being very picky with indie developers is, essentially, Nintendo's been very heavy on brand protection since the start. It was the stemming point of their issue with YouTube creators who are like streaming Nintendo games. They wanted to make sure there was no profanity. If you're gonna stream any type of Nintendo game, you have to be partnered with us. Only do Nintendo.
By the way, quick point. Sorry, but just to quickly add, they copyrighted my video, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, what the fuck?
So I guess just Nintendo's really heavy when it comes to brand protections. Like, you mention our name even once, we will own you, and we
Fight
will
me, Nintendo.
and we will censor the hell out of you.
Senpai noticed you.
Yeah, I got an email like Nintendo copyright goes, what the hell? I had like 5 seconds of Mario Kart 8 on there. That's it.
That's kind of bullshit.
So apparently we can't even touch their games.
Yeah.
Fight me, Nintendo.
I mean, yeah, that's why there was a huge downfall of the amount of Nintendo games on Let's Play channels.
Because they just like,
Yeah,
give us
'cause
90% of your money or no.
Yeah, Nintendo was like, you're using our game, you shouldn't be making money off of it. Partner with us and we'll give you a tiny bit of it. And a bunch of YouTube creators were like, I'm not going to jump through your hoops. And I'm assuming that's what's happening now with these third-party developers.
That's probably what they're doing, yeah.
They're just saying, we're not going to jump through your hoops of making a game for your platform. We just won't make a game for your platform. We'll continue with the other two consoles.
I can imagine that's what they're doing. They're like, oh, like it'd be dope to see Persona 5 on the Nintendo Switch because it did really well on the Vita. Persona 4 did really well on the Vita.
Yeah, that's how I played it.
Yeah, Persona 4 Golden came out. So give us Persona 5 Golden on the Switch, and that'd be great. But they're probably not gonna do it because they'd be like, you can do it, but if you give us 90% of money.
Yeah, no. That, and also they're gonna be like, you guys can do it, but get rid of any type of profanity. Get rid of most violence and cartoonify it.
All you're gonna have is like a high school simulator.
It'll be like make Dark Souls 4 for the Switch, but get rid of the swords, get rid of the bloods, get rid of the shields, get rid of all fighting.
All you have is a fire pit.
You're gonna have like eco.
Yeah.
That's it, man. That's Nintendo. Come on. At this point, you know adults are playing your systems.
I mean, kids played your systems before, but those kids have now grown up to adults.
Yeah, we're all adults now.
Yeah, we know what violence is.
You're gonna be like, oh no, these kids must never know violence.
But then again, a lot of little kids bought the Wii U, and the Switch.
But they also bought Xboxes and PS4s.
I mean, yeah. Trying to censor something for a child is
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
I have not seen.
But that's like the Switch isn't being advertised the same way. Like when the Wii first came out, it was completely like 100% advertised to grandparents and kids. You know, it was a family system. It's, you know, a bunch of people waving their arms around. Fine. The Wii U kind of was the same thing. But the Switch, the first commercial you saw for it, I mean, it wasn't this hardcore gamer PC whatever Xbox type thing, but it was much more modern, I guess, much more catered to adults. And then a couple advertisements later, there was, you know, people waving their arms around, same thing. But I don't know, I feel the Switch has a different tone to it, and that's why more adults are going to buy it. So I think, for me personally, I think what the best option would be, if you're not going to get these big developers to make, obviously, your Red Dead Redemption 2s and whatever, if developers would make exclusive Switch games, I know that's a long shot, but that would be amazing. Like, let's say, I don't know, Ubisoft. If Ubisoft made an exclusive, I don't want to say Assassin's Creed, but whatever Ubisoft else does.
Far Cry.
You know,
an exclusive Far Cry game, which I don't know how that would work, but sure, on the Switch, that would be really cool. Or even Square Enix, if they did, and I'm pretty sure they're going to, but make a high budget, you know, that's not on the indie side, but on the higher budget side, like a Persona, maybe dumb down the graphics a little bit and make it more accessible and make that exclusive for the Switch. That would be incredible if you had these big name developers make exclusive games for the Switch.
I mean, that would be fun, and that would be the best way to go about it. But I assume a lot of developers, if Nintendo asked them to make like a Switch exclusive version of Far Cry, Ubisoft would be, okay, if we're gonna make a Far Cry game, we're gonna make sure it sells the most, and if selling the most isn't gonna be on the Switch, selling the most is gonna be on Xbox and PlayStation.
Right.
That's probably
Like, why should they spend their time and resources making a Far Cry 5 and on top of that another Far Cry game?
Yeah,
for the Switch. Like, yeah, I completely get that.
Sony did a good job with getting exclusives like Persona. Persona's, I think, is a Sony exclusive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is a Sony exclusive. Yeah.
So it's like Sony was able to get a lot of JRPGs to like agree to be like only on Sony.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like maybe Nintendo. I know Nintendo has like Chrono Trigger, Lockdown. They have but they have Bayonetta Lockdown.
Yeah. I'm assuming them buying off these third-party games as exclusives to the Nintendo was their workaround for no one making games for them. They're like, you're not gonna make Bayonetta 2 available to the Switch? We'll just fucking buy Bayonetta from you and we'll make it ourselves. Yeah.
So like I think we had this discussion last time that Nintendo was just trying to strengthen their first-party games
by buying out other existing IPs
instead of actually being like, hey, Bandai Namco, can you port Xenoverse 2 onto the Switch? probably not, but you can try.
You don't want to try? Fine, we'll buy your company. Now you have to try.
Yeah, like
That was confirmed, right? Xenoverse 2 is coming to the Switch.
I think so. Yeah, they were talking about that. But again,
I would actually buy that again. That'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah,
You played Xenoverse 2?
Oh, I fucking love that game, man.
it's the game Xenoverse 1 should have been.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
But it's throwing me off that I'm saying like Havoc and Unity on here because I know those are engines. And it makes me feel like Tony said before we started recording, that whoever made this for Nintendo just kind of looked up logos of gaming-related companies and just threw them on there. And I guess all of this is essentially pointing to the bigger, as Tony says, the broader spectrum. But the bigger point is, what the hell is Nintendo doing wrong? Are they going about the Switch all wrong, or do they have something up their sleeves?
Because they're selling good now, but are they gonna last? Because like Shaz's video said, is Nintendo's selling really well. But I think it's just
like
because
hotcakes.
Like hotcakes, which I actually didn't know what they were until I saw your video.
Really? Hotcakes are pancakes in Europe. We call them pancakes, and I forgot. There's another term for them. There's 3 names for the exact same thing.
Flapjacks.
Flapjacks. There you go. Flapjacks is in America, but the South.
Oh.
Yeah, there's flapjacks, hotcakes, and pancakes. They all mean the same thing. They're just from different regions.
If you go to France, they're called crepes. Just like flatter and smaller.
But basically, the broader spectrum of things. Nintendo is selling well now, but are they gonna like you know, like you said, companies like Sony and Xbox undersell their console and make money off of the games, and then in the end meet their quota and succeed. If Nintendo meets their quota now, are they gonna care that they?
I think the Switch already met its quota, didn't it? Because the Switch didn't sell at a loss. The Switch sold for profit.
Yeah, so
and they sold 1.2 million, I think, the first 2 months.
They did 10% more than the Wii.
Yeah, so in terms of making back their profit for the Switch, they're done.
So then, is that all they wanted?
You guys did it. Part of me thinks that's all they fucking wanted. What do you think, Shaz? Do you think that the Switch is gonna last, or is it just gonna be a 1 month thing like the Dreamcast?
Well, again, no, it's not gonna last if it keeps going like this. You know, I mean, the Wii U sold pretty good as well for the first month. I'm surprised that it's kept going, but again, I understand because it's, you know, a brand new concept like the Wii, the original Wii was, you know, the whole portable thing. I mean, hey, I still want it, but I can't fucking get one yet. But it's not gonna. It's not unless they get more support from bigger developers or just more games. That's it. Games sell a console. You can't just have a cool gimmick or a cool. Oh yeah, it's portable. Oh, you can switch it to a console and whatever. Unless you have anything to play. It's lucky that it had Breath of the Wild come out at launch. Because that basically is what saved it. I mean,
yeah, that's what sold the console to a lot of people was Breath of the Wild.
And because there was such a gap between Zelda games.
Oh, there was a huge gap, yeah.
I think the biggest Zelda game wasn't Skyward Sword. I think the last biggest one, I think, on consoles was Twilight Princess. I think that was the big one, because not many people played... I mean, people played Skyward Sword, but it had so many gimmicks in it that a lot of people kind of grazed over it.
That's the thing that pisses me off about Nintendo. Yeah. That they create these gimmicks and they force it on all the games that come on for that console. Yeah. Just give me the game. Let me play something.
See, and then the Wii, I think, released a copy where if you bought the Wii Motion Plus control or something, that it would work better. Yeah. But see, a lot of people grazed over Skyward Sword. Not that it's a bad game.
They forced the gimmick.
Yeah, so people just didn't look at it.
Yeah.
So this is the newest normal Zelda game, like, for the lack of a better term, that we've gotten since Twilight Princess. Because Twilight Princess, even on the Wii, played normally, and they came out for GameCube too.
Didn't they also have the Geo something, but that was for shooting arrows, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, it's for shooting arrows, and for the sword, you have to wave like that. I remember because I played through it on both the Wii and the GameCube. But it still was like a normal game.
GameCube, that's where I played Twilight Princess.
GameCube, it came out for the GameCube, so you had the normal controller. This is the closest Zelda. This new one is the closest one to like a normal controlled Zelda game. So everybody bought it.
Yeah.
So it's like that is what's good. But I'm sorry, but there's people out there that probably love Mario Kart. But you guys got 10 Mario Karts out now. Stop. Like, stop, please. Maybe I'm just saying that. Maybe people who are like Mario Kart enthusiasts are like, no, we want more Mario Kart. That's fine, but
it's the same game.
10 Mario Karts?
No, I mean, I think having more Mario Karts is essential. I mean, not essential, but it is kind of necessary because you get bored of playing the same maps over and over again. Eventually, you need something new. You need something fresh, something to kick the cocaine back in your veins. I mean, what do you put in veins? Heroin.
Yeah. But that's fine. But eventually, if it's gonna be just a pattern of Wii comes out, new Zelda, new Mario Party, and a Mario game, and that's it. Next system, Wii U, new Zelda, new Mario Kart, new Mario Party, new Mario game. Next system. Eventually, you're gonna be like, well, I've played all there is. Like it was like what Wii came out. It was Mario Galaxy. It was Mario Party. It was a Mario Party there somewhere. Mario Kart, Zelda Twilight Princess. Wii U came out, Skyward Sword, another Mario Party, Mario Galaxy 2, and Mario Kart again. Nintendo Switch, Mario Kart again, Zelda game. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Unless, I mean, are there like obscure Nintendo IPs that they could bring back from the dead? Like, I know they haven't made a like Chrono Trigger. They never made a new Chrono Trigger.
They did. Oh no, that's true. Yeah, they didn't. Nintendo, what are you doing? That's a good IP that they can bring out back. That's a lot of fans.
I mean, they could last longer if they probably just brought back like Pokemon Stadium games. Well, because think about it, all the Pokemon games were handheld devices, and now that Nintendo Switch is possibly another handheld device, they should just embrace the idea that Pokemon is their biggest thing, and they could like keep it going with all these Pokemon games.
Oh my lord!
Maybe they feel like it's gonna be overkill because Pokemon Go was like a huge
Pokemon Go is Pokemon
craze.
Yeah, and it's still going to this day. Like everyone just like. What was it? What didn't they have like almost like 2 million people like drop the game as soon as like maybe like a month after it released? But then like it's just still
that was pretty much expected.
And like now you have like all these like new generations coming out, even in the game like DLCs, like not DLCs. Like they have like certain events. Like I think they had like this Easter like Togepi event, something that was going on earlier. But like yeah, they should just keep embracing the fact that Pokemon is pretty much their biggest thing. And like I'm me for one, like being a Pokemon Stadium fan, I would be happy if they actually brought that game back.
Actually, I just thought of it. For the Switch, a Pokemon Stadium game that would work would be you challenging people you meet to a Pokemon Stadium match.
What? Good ideas? Never heard of them.
Did you just quote Nintendo?
Can we get a Digimon game?
Here we go.
Speaking my language, Shaz.
Oh no!
You're speaking my language, Shaz.
Chaz, you just triggered Tony.
I just got Digimon Cyber Sleuth for PlayStation 4.
I am so fucking tired of Digimon.
Shaz knows me. That's what we need.
I mean, what do you guys want?
Pokemon v Digimon. Who doesn't want that? A Pokemon versus Digimon game.
It'll be Nintendo's version of Marvel v Capcom.
Oh my god. Nintendo, hire me. Just to sit in a room and give you good ideas. Pokemon v Digimon would be dope. I don't know how they would do it. I don't know the premise, but man.
Well, that's kind of cheating because the Digimon can evolve on demand.
And like there's Digimon with like guns attached to them.
It's like, imagine Pikachu versus like War Greymon. He's like, well, fuck.
War Greymon's got like, remember that one I showed you? His hand is literally like a pistol. It's just a giant pistol. That would be a good fighting game if they do like a Poke tournament like thing, like how Pokken came out, but like with. Like Pokemon versus Digimon.
I actually forgot about Pokken. I had a lot of fun playing Pokken.
Oh my god, Pokken tournament was so fun.
It seems like we're the only ones that like it. Apparently, everybody in that what do you call it? Like Eastern region, I guess. Japan, that like area didn't like it.
No, they didn't like Pokken?
No, like just like I said, don't get me wrong. I love the Pokemon Stadium games. They will forever be some of my favorite Pokemon games ever. But Pokken tournament is actually what I expected when it came to like Pokemon fighting, where it's like you're not just like, all right, you go first or you go first. It's like you guys like fight each other, kind of like Tekken or any of those games.
Well, I mean that's why it's called Pokken.
Yeah,
Pokemon Tekken.
There you go.
It took Tekken's gameplay, I think, right?
Yeah.
Like fighting mechanics.
So you just need a Kuma.
Why don't they do Tekken v Pokemon?
I guess the overall looming theme is
Nintendo doesn't do things right.
They need to embrace what they already have that's doing good for them instead of just promising all this like bull crap.
Okay.
Nintendo don't or Nintendo won't.
You're still getting sued, Tony.
Getting sued so hard.
What do you think is looming is the reigning cloud over Nintendo at the moment that's causing them to like falter in terms of fan acceptance or gaming acceptance?
Their fear to take a chance,
making false promises.
They I think they take too many chances on like mechanics and like gimmicks, I guess, like, oh, let's try this and that, but they don't take chances with like the types of games
with IPs.
Yeah, they're just like, oh yeah, we'll do motion control but with Zelda. We'll do motion control but with Mario.
Oh, okay, so I see what you mean. They're taking chances, but not in terms of introducing new IPs. They're just taking chances like, no, it's something else you can do within a game you already know of.
Yeah, like, oh, Mario, but you can control it with like your hands. I don't know. And it's like, what about like, why don't you go, okay, how about we try putting, like, if you put Gears of War in Nintendo, that would be interesting. Like, if they could do it, if it was Xbox was like, sure, That would be an interesting thing to see, like a Nintendo Switch version of Gears of War.
You're like gutting a
Like
locust.
they make
Called
their own.
Splatoon.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But you know what I mean? Like, because they took a chance with Splatoon. Splatoon was a chance, and everybody loved it, and it did so well.
I mean, it's because Splatoon did really well because they pretty much plastered it with kid marketing.
But still,
Let's make funny characters. Let's make them children. Let's add a bunch of colors.
yeah, but like a lot of
It's
adults
genius.
still play the game. I've met so many adults playing it, but they took a chance with something different. They did like a shooter for Nintendo. It's Nintendo's shooter, Nintendo's Gears of War, like you said, and it was like, look, and they did something. They did it well. They took a chance in Smash Brothers and introduced IPs that weren't Nintendo related. Like they brought in Cloud from Final Fantasy,
Metal Gear. I mean, Snake. Sorry.
Snake from in the game before, and it was good. It was like them taking chances and doing things that were not just mechanically different, but actually thematically different. Like seeing Snake fight Mario, that was cool. Everybody was like, "That's great," and they did really well. But then they stopped. Then they're just like, "Okay, we took enough risk. Let's stop." Like, and then Zelda did really well because, again, they took a risk with Zelda and made it an open world. A completely open world. Instead of, like...
But then that's taking a risk with the property they already own.
See, you're
Yeah.
right. That's a good
I think
point.
what everyone wants is them taking a risk with other companies to make new properties for them.
Like Hyrule Warriors. Yeah, it was with the thing they owned, but that still was a risk. They combined Dynasty Warriors with Zelda.
Actually, I had no idea that Dynasty Warriors was a thing.
You didn't?
No.
Oh.
You didn't?
I thought Hyrule Warriors was like, oh, that's a cool name. I didn't know that it was like a spin-off of another existing property.
And that's because they didn't take the risk. The creators of Dynasty Warriors took the risk. They partnered with Dragon Quest and they partnered with Zelda. So Dragon Quest has games that come out that are like Dynasty Warriors like, and then Zelda has it. And I'm like, these guys are rolling in it because people are loving these games. Well, Nintendo isn't doing any of that. You know, Nintendo needs to be like, let's put Metal Gear Solid on our Switch. I don't know. Something
Oh, no, I don't
different.
think Metal Gear Solid's ever going to make it on Switch.
Yeah, it's not going to run.
It's a little too violent. I mean, it's not going to run, but it's also a little too violent for Nintendo's taste.
You guys need to try harder.
You want Nintendo to go M?
I want not even go M, just go
NC-18.
for it. Do something.
Rated M for maybe.
Yeah. Rated M for me. Do something, Nintendo. Do something new, not just like, oh, here's motion controls. Nah, give me more.
Okay, that's a good question. What new thing should Nintendo try with the Switch other than the fact that they got Joy-Cons?
Since they're trying to combine it with like basically the DS, I think what they should do is make more games that are maybe like the whole Pokemon Go thing where it's kind of geographically relatable. Like, oh, they're sitting in the grass, so you have grass Pokemon. What if they did that? What if they were like, oh, Zelda, but you walk into a meadow and like you can play.
You can like beat up a Deku.
Yeah, like in a meadow or something like that. It's geographically connected. So it's like if you're in by the ocean, and let's say they make a Pokemon game, and then like you turn on the Pokemon game and your character's in the ocean and you can catch like water Pokemon.
Oh, so you're talking about like augmented reality?
Yeah, which I told you this when I remember when the first Switch first came out. I think that's what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
That they're trying to be ahead of the game in terms of virtual reality. So what they're not even aiming for is for normal consoles, but what they're actually aiming for is trying to get a step ahead in the virtual reality game. Because with the Joy-Cons, there's a lot of what are they called?
Gyroscopes.
Gyroscope controls in the Joy-Cons. So I think what they're trying to do is get ahead in the VR game. Because that Switch, technically, if they wanted to, is small enough they could possibly they make a helmet for it, and then poof. It's
Like
VR.
Virtual Boy?
Yeah. Yes. They could be trying to redo Virtual Boy. That's what I think they might be doing.
So you think Nintendo's heading to VR? Do you think Nintendo's headed to VR, Shaz?
VR, I don't think so. I don't know. I could be, yeah, but I don't see that happening yet. The whole thing with augmented reality, though, is you could do that like within games. A lot of games on the Vita actually did that at the beginning. Like Terrorway had a lot of cool things you could interact with, like with your fingers and like with the camera and stuff like that. But the thing of having internet. So I don't know if you could do that. Like if you were to go like in the meadow or whatever, beat up a Deku, I don't know if you could do that if you didn't have internet. So that and that was the issue with the whole voice chat and online thing that they were talking about, is because there's not constant connection to the internet, you can't have access to a lot of different things.
I remember there was rumors that they were gonna do like Nintendo specific Pokestops or something that gave out. I remember reading somewhere that they were gonna make Wi-Fi spots specifically for.
But was that actually Nintendo,
Pokemon
or is
Go.
that someone else that was making it for Nintendo?
I think it was Nintendo. I don't remember. I should go back and read that before I say anything. But I read something like that. And then I remember that's what got my train of thinking that Nintendo was trying to take a step ahead and get ahead in VR, and be like, so by the time like PlayStation solidifies their VR, Nintendo's already gonna be there.
Oh, so like they're building everything around VR, so when they drop it, it's just good and ready for everyone.
Like, we already can do it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what do you mean? And you're like, check it out. These controllers were already set with gyroscope controls. This thing can fit into our new Nintendo helmet, the new Virtual Boy, and then boom. And they're like, what? I didn't know that was gonna happen. And then they get you, and then they're like, we got you, huh? Because that sounds like a Nintendo thing. Like they have motion controls for their Wii. They have the gyroscope stuff for their Wii U. So it's like, what if the whole time Nintendo was just trying to get ahead of the game?
It was a conspiracy this entire time.
I knew it.
Like
we might make a YouTube video conspiracy. Nintendo's trying to start VR.
So we might have said that. We say a lot of things.
But I'm just saying, like, that would make more sense to me. Like, if they pulled out a VR stuff, I'd be like, oh, I get it now.
But would VR help Nintendo?
Nah. I didn't say it was a good idea.
Okay.
No, because no one's gonna. That's just another gimmick.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick that gets that I don't.
You wouldn't play these games.
I don't give 2 cents to VR. I don't care about it. It's cool that other people have like entire rigs to play VR games for like horror games, but nothing about it interests me. So I don't feel like it's gonna actually help Nintendo. If anything, it's just gonna be like, Nintendo's just doing their own gimmicks again.
You don't want to see yourself beating up a Deku?
No.
Give me Shining Force and Chrono Trigger, and we can talk Nintendo.
You hear that, Nintendo? Just keep Shining Force and Chrono Trigger again.
Yeah, honestly, I would be okay if like we went 3 years without 3, maybe a little bit too much, but whatever, a long time without a Zelda, a Mario Kart, a Mario Party, whatever. Just none of that. Give us new, even if it's Nintendo IPs. Just work on new franchises because we've had the same shit for like 30 years.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Nintendo should just make their own new IPs instead of calling out all these companies to make them when they're not actually going to.
Or bring back old IPs. What do you have? Earthbound that everybody goddamn wants? They haven't even touched Earthbound. Pinkman, that was a fun game.
Wait, isn't it Pikmin?
Pikmin, sorry.
Pikmin.
Jesse Pikmin. Pikmin is out there that they haven't touched. They have Star Fox.
Bring back Donkey Kong Country.
Being touched. Donkey Kong Country. You know what else is out there? I played a lot of GameCube. Let me think. Bomberman, can come out. I think you said they were doing that.
No, yeah, they are making a new Bomberman, right?
See, that's smart.
All right,
nobody remembers Bomberman. You bring it back, you hit you in the childhood feels, and boom, sales.
I remember having the game for the N64. I don't remember playing it.
I remember you could just make a huge Bomberman.
I think I have it on my shelf. Pretty sure I have Bomberman on my shelf.
I think you do. Bomberman World.
Actually, hold on. I forgot there was this one game I used to play when I was a little kid for the 64. It's like you were like this space age like dude fighting a bunch of aliens, and you had like 2 partners, which was your assistant was this one alien chick and a dog. I just forgot the name of it.
Make a console Fire
Fallout.
pretty much a similar presence. You're just in space, and let me see if I can find this
I'm
game.
literally thinking of the roster of Smash Brothers and thinking like there's so many people. They're like
yeah, I mean Smash Bros seemed like a good idea to like bring attention to specific characters and then releasing games for those characters so that their IP folder grows.
What they did, at least in the era of like Wii Smash Brothers, is they released it all for the Nintendo DS. A lot of stuff was coming out for the Nintendo DS. A lot of games, a Kid Icarus game, a Metroid game, a Fire Emblem, Star Fox game. They did everything on the DS. So this is your time to bring it onto the console world.
I think that unveils like the underlying issue with Nintendo. Once they come up with a new console, they just completely forget whatever console came out after. Because I remember what console came out after the GameCube. Was it one of the DS, one of the handhelds, wasn't it?
It was the DS, no?
Yeah. I remember the GameCube's lifespan was extremely short because the DS came out, then they focused only on DS, and they're like, what fucking GameCube?
Yeah,
I don't remember
the GameCube had Game Boy Advance connectivity. Like, you can put your Game Boy Advance games on it, and they were really connecting the two together, and then they made the DS. And then the DS had the Game Boy Advance connectivity under it. You can, like, put in your cartridges and stuff, and then they completely just forgot about it.
Yeah, I think that's one of Nintendo's issues, is that once they come up with something new, they just forget the old. Like, this is new, this is now, focus on this, screw whatever was in the past.
But you have so many IPs you haven't even touched. They're all sad.
Actually, I just found out the game I was looking for. It's called Jet Force Gemini. Basically, it was a third-person shooter video game developed and published, obviously, by Nintendo, but it was just so fun because you had, like, 3 storylines. You could choose either the dude, the chick, or the dog. And, like,
you could choose the dog?
You could choose the dog as a character.
Clay Fighters. Sorry.
Oh shit, Clay Fighters would be fucking great. To
That's
bring
another
back.
one.
But you were saying?
No. So basically, Jeff was saying, and like you're in space, and like literally every like planet you go to, you have to like find your way through like certain like different little missions, events. You got to kill like this army of like bugs, and like once you get to their leader, was like this like 50-foot tall freaking monster. It's just really impossible to beat.
I play that.
But yeah, Jeff Force Gemini, which is a really good game. I don't know if Chaz has ever heard of it or.
Shaz, by the way, not Chaz.
Oh, Chaz. Oh, I'm sorry. I've been calling you Chaz this entire time.
No worries. Everyone makes that mistake. No
Chaz.
worries.
But Clay Fighters, bam, that's a good one.
So what, do you think Nintendo should just revisit their older IPs and bring new IPs instead of focusing on like the same 3 characters?
I forgot they had Turok.
Turok.
Wait, Nintendo owns Turok?
I think
Yeah, I'm
they
looking.
do.
Well, because I'm currently going
Really?
on. I'm currently going on Nintendo 64 games list right now, and one of them right here is literally Turok. I forgot about that game.
Hold up, let me use your Google.
Turok's the dinosaur killer, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
they even have 1080, that snowboarding game. That was actually pretty fun
Make
as well.
a new snowboarding game.
But yeah,
Yoshi's Story.
Yeah, Turok is actually a better one as well.
F-Zero. Kirby.
Banjo Kazooie.
Nintendo owns Kirby? What?
They
What are you guys doing?
that little pink bastard.
Pokemon Snap. This one's for Doodle. Bring back Pokemon Snap.
No, Pokemon Snap. Actually, wait, does the Switch have a camera?
I don't know, but no, but
No, it doesn't actually.
See,
I don't think
That would have been good if the Switch came with the camera. You can play Pokemon Snap by going out. Oh, that's Pokemon Go.
I guess.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't mind going back and throwing Charmander into a pit to make him evolve.
Because
Yeah, that was fun.
They're like bringing back Mario
That was
64.
torture.
Hey, you Pikachu, bring that back. Paper Mario and Mario Tennis. Come on.
They had a bunch of Mario sports. They
Come
had
on.
like Mario Soccer, Mario Baseball, all these like, different ones.
Y'all used to be so creative.
So
Paper
you're saying
Mario.
Nintendo's losing Nintendo lost its creativity?
I think because
That's
they're
definitely one
putting
way.
so much time on creating new consoles and being like, oh, this console can do this and can do that, that they're forgetting that, okay, but what are the games? You know? It's like, Zelda was great, but they were already making it for the Wii U. So all they did was push it onto the Switch. It wasn't like a game made for the Switch. It was like, oh, we already have this game like 95% done. It was gonna be released on the Wii U, and they were like, oh, we gotta. Some guy like woke up in the middle of the night and was like, you know, it'd be great if we made a whole new console. And then they just pushed Zelda onto the Switch.
That's actually
They
really,
switched it.
that's actually a really good point. They're just like, all right, this is how it works. This is what you do, and then one audience member, all right, now what games can we play for it?
That's not important.
We have a new console, guys, and it's got a dock. It's like an iPad. You guys are gonna love it. What games can we play on it? Stop asking questions. So
We're done taking questions here.
basically, yeah. See, Metroid.
It's like
That's what I forgot about.
Is there a Metroid game coming out?
There's rumors.
one that was more, like back, like back to
Side
it.
scrolling.
Another one that's like more prime. What the rumors are. I don't understand why they would make a new 2D one, though that would be pretty cool because I love Super Metroid.
Yeah.
But yeah, they should Metroid has been gone for like what,
Ever.
more than 10 years now.
Yeah.
Shit.
The last one came out for the GameCube.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
It's been
The
that long?
last
Yeah.
Prime
Yeah.
one, the Metroid Prime and Metroid Fusion, I think, were the ones that came out for the GameCube.
God damn, that's
And
a
then
long
they
time.
just let it go. They had some 2D scrollers, I think, on the DS, or if not, they were just like remasters of old Samus games and Metroid games that they put on the DS. But there's no actual Metroid, and you got Metroid fans out here.
No.
Not me, but but they're out there, waiting for their Metroid games, and it's like, come on. If you're gonna stick to your own IPs, Nintendo, fine, but do it right. But they were like, but Mario, we know he's great. We know he can jump on things. He's a wonderful character. You've done so much for him. And the new Mario game that's coming out looks great. That's fine. But is that all you got?
just a guy who stomps on turtles.
Are you guys scared to do other IPs because you're like, oh, well, people love Mario, they'll buy Mario, and we will. I think they're scared. They're like, if we don't do Mario, people are gonna buy it.
That's actually a good point. I forgot. I don't know if it was a video or an article I saw, but they were taking into account the sales of every type of game that comes out, especially Nintendo properties. Nintendo makes more money off of sequels for like their milked IPs rather than they do on new IPs.
So you know what? Then it's not Nintendo's fault. It's the gamers' fault. We need to open our minds, guys. Play
Yeah.
Shining Force.
A gamer is more likely to pick up a sequel to Mario because they recognize the game, they recognize the quality.
Then something
A gamer is unlikely to pick up like I don't know, like
Alkaline's Gun.
That's a whole other issue. A gamer is more likely to pick up a game it recognizes because they have quality attached to it. They have recognition attached to it, rather than a brand new IP because they're afraid of, okay, what if I spend this money on a game that I'm not even going to like? So I think Nintendo's just kind of perpetuating that by making sequels for games that already have trust behind them.
So they're following the trends. So it's our fault.
Yeah.
Gamers, it's your fault. Me too. But I'm trying.
Hey, all I play is Dark Souls. Don't blame me.
I blame Doodle. But see, at least Doodle just sticks to his guns. But we need to try new games, and Nintendo needs to try and putting that quality into different IPs. Then, if they can do this quality work.
I mean, is there a
Shining Force?
Okay. Is there a point in which Nintendo brought out a new IP that lacked in quality?
Yeah, good
Shining
question.
Force?
No, like they've done really well. I think like the last time they messed up, I think was like when they made that Donkey Kong Conga thing where you play the drums.
Oh, that was back in the rhythm era, right?
Yeah.
When Rock Band was coming out.
Yeah.
That was Donkey Konga, yeah.
That was dumb.
I forgot what it was called, but you got the drums and the game was played with the drums.
Donkey Konga.
And some people enjoyed the game, but yeah, it wasn't like critically acclaimed like Zelda is. But put that time into other games, Nintendo, I guess, if you're gonna stick to your own IPs and give us something new, because you can do it. Everybody's like, Nintendo's are the best games ever made.
Nintendo, in terms of, I think I know I asked the question before, but the quality that comes on a Nintendo game is always high.
Always.
Nintendo,
oh yeah, definitely.
Nintendo keeps their quality to a like a standard, and it's their minimum, and you can only go up from there. So I think at that point, it's just a matter of gamers taking a chance on a new game.
Gamers, we need to stop being so like Doodle.
Hey,
play new games, try new things.
Hey, I do try new games. They just don't fit my criteria. I want a game.
Because of tutorials.
If you have a tutorial in your game, screw your game. If you have cutscenes in your game, screw your game. I want a game. Give me a game, which is why The Last of Us sucks.
Give you a movie.
The Last of Us gave me a movie that I can sometimes play.
So don't play any what are they called? Telltale games.
That's my issue with gaming, with games in general.
But we need to take a chance, man.
Who made Okami? Do any of you know Okami?
Okami, is that the one with the dog?
Yes, that's the one with the dog and the paintbrush.
I know. Who made that?
Oh man, I fucking loved that game. It came on the PS2 first, but then it got re-released on the Wii, and it's just fantastic on the Wii. Yeah, I have it right now.
He's a fighter in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, it wasn't. But yeah, it was by Capcom. It's developed by Clover Studio and published by Capcom.
Oh, there you go. Capcom did it.
Capcom making Okami too.
There you go. Capcom making Okami too. That'll get people real quick.
And make it a Switch. Exclusive. Yeah, that would.
That's true. See, look, Shaz with the good ideas. But does it have a fan base besides like you?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. There's definitely like a lot of people that were surprised that they didn't make because it sold fairly well. Not on the PS2 originally, but when it got re-released on the PS3 and Wii, it sold fairly well.
Okay, so see, there's fans out there, Nintendo. So put your quality into that. Like technically, if you played Twilight Princess and you played like the parts where you were a dog. Like, maybe that's their Ukami too. I mean, you have the like dog gameplay because he fought like Ukami did in the games. So it's like you guys can do it. Like you guys can do anything, Nintendo, when you put your mind to it. You guys have done some amazing things. Like Mario Galaxy, I didn't know I wanted that, but when you made it, I was floored. So it's like,
I have issues with Mario Galaxy, man.
What were your issues? It's okay. We need two different perspectives.
No, listen. I think from a design aspect, and like level design and the soundtrack and everything is absolutely fantastic. However, fucking Mario like has ice on his feet and can't stand still.
Oh yeah.
And like the jumping is so floaty, and the fucking camera. Like I jump and like, okay, Mario, don't just slide off the thing, or at least let me see that you're gonna slide off. So change the camera. I mean, it's. The design and the concept is so incredible, but I just think the camera and some of the movement controls really get in the way.
See, Nintendo, you still screw up sometimes with your normal IPs. So if that's gonna happen anyway, do something different. Make a Final Fantasy game for the Switch only. Make some kind of Halo Wars. I don't know. Halo Wars would be.
I don't think Nintendo's ever gonna make a Halo. That's a whole other issue.
But you know, what if they can? What if Halo's like tired because no one's playing it because everybody's playing Destiny and they're like, all right, we'll
I think you're segueing into a debate that's for a whole other
another podcast.
Video.
No, I still play Halo. Well, you one guy who still plays Halo.
We'll save Tony's hatred for Halo for another podcast.
So, we believe in you, Nintendo.
Don't make Shining Force.
Don't make Shining Force, no matter how much Tony asks you.
Don't make it again. We hope you guys don't just stay stagnant. We hope you guys actually deliver on some of these promises. Because, you know, who are we? We don't know how development works 100%. We're just college students and not college students sitting in a room.
I like how you're like pointing out that I'm a dropout.
I didn't. You pointed it out. I didn't clarify to anybody.
You literally pointed at me,
but nobody saw it.
Tony, your finger is still up.
So we're just
I
college
never go to
students.
college.
So
yeah,
he didn't even go to
Shaz,
college.
Shaz is behind me.
But Shaz is great.
Hi, Jeff.
So us normal, average per people don't know anything about developing. We don't know the process. So maybe there's something going on. Maybe there's some problems.
And we're the
But
critics.
this has happened to you guys 3 times.
Any closing words, Shaz, on shit talking Nintendo? Spit on them while they're down.
No, that's it. I mean, you have a good console. It's genuinely a good console that has a gimmick. Yeah, sure, it has a gimmick, but it's a gimmick that, for the most part, at least for me, I think it works. Get all the indies on there, and if you can't get the big budget, big AAA games, work with other developers to make, convince them that that they should invest in making a game that's exclusive for your console. And also, yeah, screw the Zelda and the Mario Kart and the Kirby, and all those those Nintendo characters for now, and work on brand new IPs. Just get new games out, get new franchises out. People will trust you. Like, people will trust Nintendo if they get out a new IP. Like Jay said, Nintendo games are high quality regardless. They're always fairly high quality. So if you make new IPs, people will trust that. And bring back a lot of the old stuff back from the dead. Like, you have so many back catalogs of games that you can just bring back.
Like Takeshi's Challenge. Okay, I guess we'll close it off here because we're about an hour and 10 minutes in.
Holy shit.
So that's going to be a lot of work for me.
Holy Shaz.
Thank you, Shaz. Thank you for joining us and downloading Discord for us. You guys can check out Shaz at the ShazMo Show. I'll leave a link at the end of the video.
His stuff is way better.
His stuff is a lot better than ours. You can check it out at the end of this video. And you can also check out his articles. They're some of the best ones we got on Geekly NG.
And check out our other podcast called Terrorputic.
You can dislike this video. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really affect the algorithm at all anymore. But dislike it all you want. We don't care. We thrive on the hate.
I already added a dislike.
And hopefully you guys come back for the next one.